was starting to bleed at times.
Okay, but all that just for a drop of blood, I don't think it's as easy as they thought it was going to be, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
at this point, let's go straight into the draft. Wawa hands back on this Dharma. He wants to put an even better performance this time.
Yeah, and I think that there were moments of brilliance by Wawa. I think that there were definitely times where it could have been a little bit better, though. I think that they're still kind of not on the same page, especially with some of these initiations that happen. But, you know, Musashi and Nadolia picked by Nova Esports, no big surprise there, right?
Yeah, I think they are very comfortable with this draft, and it looks like Falcon doesn't know how to handle this duo combination. So I think it's a great plan by Nova, right?
Yeah, okay. I mean, if it ain't broke, why fix it, right? We'll continue to do this. CY on the Musashi. He's proven time and time again he's quite good with this.
I think more importantly, if it's not banned, why not pick it?
Yeah, and of course, with that being said, this time they're gonna change it up here. Is it gonna be the? It's gonna be the Zhang Fei as well as the Long. So shield, flaming palms, riding in the wind. It's a painful one to deal against on the side of Nova.
Yeah, there's definitely that opportunity, right? That potential for this. But again, Lady Soon, it seems Nova Esports, they seem to be stuck in the past, so to speak, because it seems very similar to what they picked in Game 1.
Yeah, and right now it is going to be, I think, an identical, if not the same draft coming out from Nova, aside from the bans, of course.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But what would you like for Bobby to get? I think that. Oh, sorry, he's already got the loom. And then you have Clue on the Zhang Fei. So okay, how would you round out this draft by Team Falcons?
I would like them to explore a little bit more burst damage, right? Maybe try a Zing, maybe try a Luna. Someone with good mobility, because nobody's able to touch Muji at this point, right? They need some form of access. Now that they've picked up the Dharma, means there's no more Charlotte or whatsoever. They need someone to give them the room, the entry point, right? They need the access ticket.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Wawa, Dharma, maybe you flash Truth into it, or Zhang Fei, Umbrella, but it's kind of, you know, it's very telegraphed. They're going to see it coming. So I think Nova Esports right now understand that. What are the weaknesses on the Nova side that you kind of think that they need to shore up?
I think same thing, right? They are lacking a little bit of defense on the back. So if, let's say, they actually manage to get onto the back lines, nobody's there to save them. Sure, Dolia has the wave breaker, but how much heal does that actually give you? At the same time, yes, you have the ult, you can push them back for a little bit, but we've already seen in Game 1, when you're caught as Nova, you're caught. There's no escape.
Yeah, yeah. And to be honest, I kind of like what Nova Esports is doing right now. I mean, it seems kind of boring in the sense that they're picking the same heroes that they picked in Game 1, but it's like, if it ain't broke, why fix it? I'll just continue to do this until somebody beats me, then I'll start to evolve in my draft strategies.
Oh yeah, for sure. So right now, they're just missing out the Clash lane. What would you like to play against Dharma? How about the Byron? How about the Quan Yu?
Yeah,
stuff
all
like
of them, either or. With that Dune, that's kind of scary. You have a lot of meat on the side of Team Falcons with that Zhang Fei as well. So it's going to be somewhat tankier in that side. Nova, not as much, right? They're definitely on the squishier side. You have the Musashi, who's potentially able to blow up that Loon, but you know, if he gets caught out, you might have a hard time, but he does have the infinite fastness, so it's a tough situation for them. Nova Esports, definitely on the squishier side. A lot of damage, but again, you're going up against the shield, this meat shield of Team Falcons.
Okay, so Falcons, they are a very disruptive roster, right? All 5 members have some form of stun, pushback, or whatsoever. So this is something that I think Nova will struggle with, and it makes it a little bit more difficult because before you even enter the fight, you have to deal with the cannon blast coming in from the mortar. You have to deal with the leaping saviors, providing shields for the members on the side of Falcons. And of course, the truth and enlightenment mantras coming out from Wawa at the correct times will absolutely obliterate the lineup on the side of Nova.
Yeah, I like how Nova Esports picked up that Charlotte there. I think that you have the initiator. It kind of can start things off, and then you have the CY Musashi coming in, just doing all the damage that you need to do. I think that this is a nice little tag team. Plus, you have the guys following up with all the damage that you need.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit concerned about the double duel to the death. I don't see how they're going to be able to sustain against this lineup on the side of Falcons, right? Because Lung is not a very tanky character at all. He's actually one of the squishiest marksmen in the farm lane as well. So when CY gets his hands on Bobby, it's not going to be a fun time.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, Bobby doesn't want to be touched at all, right? I mean, he just wants all that personal space as possible and just kind of keeping him, like, untouched. That's like the biggest thing for him, and I think Clue needs to do a better job of just creating that space, and he might be able to do so because he's definitely more comfortable on this junk phase.
Okay, they're going to change it up here.
Okay, CY looking a little bit too low there, but the level 1 invade is not going to be as successful as what we've seen on the likes of BSC, right? Or any other team that goes in for a level 1 invade. You have to be very aggressive, you have to be very confident.
Okay, so if they manage to defend the box on their side, then yes, it is going to be a success. As of now, it looks like it will be a success because Nova hasn't made any moves just yet.
It's still early. It's a minute into the game, right? We don't need to get carried away. I think this is an interesting matchup where Bobby's kind of in the mid lane, but
Shuan looking pretty low. Do they have the flash? They do still have the flash to get out of there. There we go. They are safe.
Safe. And, I mean, Wawa, you know, he's just punching him out. He's just doing his damage. But, again, Nova Esports right now trying to funnel as much, you know, farm as possible to Muchi, CY, trying to get them going, right?
Yep. Definitely coming back with a vengeance, right? Bobby is playing so much more aggressively. I mean, granted, yes, he has the Leaping Savior, so he has a couple of extra shield values as well. And Muchi doesn't look as comfortable.
Not as comfortable here, but I mean, he's still going to do some damage, right? Muchi, even last game, was, again, kind of on the quiet side, right? He didn't really get going until he got his farm, and then he just took over. And that's kind of what you want more out of that. I think Bobby needs to do a better job of just kind of maybe focusing him out so that Muchi doesn't really want to go in or do any sort of damage.
Yep, and at this point, Nova has identified they want to put a leash onto Wawa, right? They can't afford that very painful truth mantra, and at the same time, it looks like they will get that space right. So now teleportation available for both teams. First few rotations coming in from Falcons into the jungle.
Yeah, but look at CY getting affected here. He's just been forced out. Everything's contested.
Is this a little bit of a bait for the Shuan here? Because obviously we know that Extreme Speed can get him out of there. The Musashi is still pretty high. Okay, first blood goes over to Wawa. They're picking up another one, but Muchi is pretty high in health, but he doesn't quite have the damage yet. Wendy is here with the damage. They can take the 2 and just leave now. Let's not get too greedy for Team Falcons.
What a flash coming out from Wawa just in the nick of time, and this is a big win for the side of Falcons. Now, it's about 1,000 gold lead for the side of Falcons, and they need to make this into a much bigger reward for themselves, right? We know how Nova plays. You give them one thing, they always get a 1-for-1 deal.
Yeah, and I mean, it started with the invade. It started being aggressive. Team Falcons went back to the playbook, and they're like, hey, we need to make CY a little uncomfortable. Game 1, untouched. He was happily farming. He was doing everything that he could to get himself, the team, a chance to win, and they did. But again, this is a different Team Falcons lineup. They've changed up the strategies. I like it.
Yep. Level 5 for CY, but FF already one level ahead. Bobby, look at the aggression coming from him. He's so confident, and the saves coming out from Clue.
Yeah, knowing that, I mean, Clue's got the Leaping Savior, right? And once it's there, once it's been expended, okay, now I need to play a little bit safe. Bobby understanding just how this duo works in, and he's just going to help out, even pick up the red buff. They'll, you know, FF will just give it to Bobby.
Yeah, and at this point, you can see Ray, because of his mobility, he's able to kind of suss out any potential ganks. And Xuan, one-on-one against Wawa, it's a benefit now, an advantage to the Falcons lineup for the first time now in Game 2.
Wawa with that level advantage. I mean, just Swan really can't fight here. Tyrant looks like it's going to be going the way of Falcons. I don't think Nova can really contest on this one. So, again, Team Falcons really changing things up, and it's starting to show with this early lead.
Yep, it's extending close to a 2,000 goal lead at this point. Now, Ray has been doing well to clear the lanes. Well, it's not really known as the biggest and fastest wave clearer, right? But because of the rotations coming out from FF, they are at a much higher pace than what Nova is offering at this point for game number 2.
Yeah, and I like it. I like what Team Falcons are doing. They're being more bold, I would say, pushing things out, forcing Nova Esports to play on more on the defensive side, understanding that, hey, this is a different lineup. And again, the early game, very important because, again, having that lead going into the mid game is absolutely huge.
Yep, they need to assert their dominance, right? And that's exactly what Falcon has been doing. But on the top lane, they might suffer some losses here.
Yeah, Shuan going in for a 2v2, but then Bobby turns it around. Muchi looking pretty low. He able to get back in with Long. Picking up the Lady Sun. That is going to be the 3rd kill over to the side of Falcons. Can they get Shuan as well? He does get the dash out. They do get a kill onto Wawa, but boom! Bobby back in with the palms of death. Still going, Wave Pit, Wind Slash. FF needs some help to claim Wave Pit, but it doesn't look like the team of Falcons are going to be able to rotate quick enough.
clutch Ocean of Tears there, giving a little bit of space so that he can kind of keep himself alive. But, you know, Bobby had a nice ride the wind, but he kind of backed off, and he wasn't actually doing any basic attacks. So it seemed like, you know, they had a potential to do that. He could have maybe potentially saved, I think it was Ray at that time, but unfortunately not able to do the damage, and it seemed like there were just a little bit of a mishap on that one.
I think it's fine, right? At this point, let's take a look at the replay here. He actually bought himself some time because there was still a chance that Xuan was able to get the cuts in as well. And
Like, Bobby was all the way in the bush, right? He was backing off Wawa.
yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah. It's a good thing.
No, but I think that he could have gone in, because it was Wawa and Clue, both of them were fighting, and then Bobby could have been doing some more damage, potentially killed him, and then Wawa might have survived.
He was on cooldown for the skills.
It's not just about the kills, it's about the damage, man.
Yeah, but he needed to do that. But at this point,
Flaming Palms do connect, do a bit of damage, but it's the fists that beats the CY. Musashi going down once more. The Celestial Melody wasn't close enough to obviously get that duel to depth or anything over to the side of Musashi.
Yeah, I like the fact that Team Falcons are making Nova Esports sweat, right? Going into this one, this is the international stage. Yes, it's just the group stage, but man, Nova Esports right now, they're kind of reeling. They're not doing very well. They're on the defensive, and let's see how they respond.
yep, FF already at level 10. CY still trailing by about half a level at level 9. This is going to be a big difference maker in the way they start fights and the tankiness on the side of FF as well.
This is giving me flashbacks to day one, Kagendra and Team Falcons, right? Because Team Falcons was picking up the Musashi so many times, and they won game 1, and they lost game 2 and 3. Maybe
Okay, the Unbridled Outburst comes through. Is it going to be enough for them to leap over the wall? There it is, but there we see the extreme speed of Musashi. Still nothing coming through just yet. It does mean that FF is able to go to the neutral objective and try and take it from the side of Nova, so paying back that full 100% from last game.
Yep, giving all the freebies and taking it for themselves as well. Crimson Golem not going to go into the hands on the side of Falcons. That still will not happen. Muchi gets it instead.
Yeah, that's going to be huge for Muchi. Let him do some damage here. Nova Esports right now, just really defending this T1, not giving anything up in terms of objectives. I mean, yeah, the top and bottom have been taken out in terms of T1s, but it's more of a flush mood at this point.
Yeah, shot after shot, Ray is just making life so difficult for the side of Nova. At the same time, if we take a look at the split push attempt from the side of Nova, we can see, right, Xuan is trying his best, but they are just so far behind at this point.
Yeah, those cannon blasts, super annoying, especially he's able to kind of control what's going on. I mean, he's zoned it away, right? They got to free Azure Golem because of that.
Yeah, exactly, and now FX gets the Azure Golem. His cooldowns are much shorter. They will be able to take a fight as well. Tyrant available for the taking, no debuff, no primal bond for either of the teams.
Look at how the Vanguards are pushing in the bottom lane. So Nova Esports making a beeline for it to defend, to keep themselves going. But again, you know, Team Falcons changed things up. All 3 lanes are kind of pushing in their favor, at least for now.
I just want to say, I feel like I'm a good coach, right? Falcon has been listening. This is a much different Falcon from before.
Was it you? I think it was you were kind of bashing them. You were giving them a lot of crap for losing that last game.
I mean, my memory serves me better at this point, but it's
Oh,
a steal.
is that the crucial kill, Beth? No, they are able to get it though.
Yeah. Really nice. I mean, he's got smite as well, so Clue able to kind of just add that on to it. They had the damage, and that's kind of creating more space. The Vanguard's pushing the top lane, and Team Falcons using that to kind of create space elsewhere.
Yep, the timing is impeccable. The Crimson Golem is actually up as well.
Yeah, still a lot of trading blows here. No one's pretty close to getting taken down on either of these teams just yet. With these cannon blasts, like you keep saying, guys, Ray is really opening this team up.
Yep, he wants to make them pay, right? So many stuns coming in, and every stun is a new opportunity for Falcons to get an opening into the backlines of Nova.
Yeah, I mean, they took the T1 mid, and that's exactly what you want, Team Falcons right now. They're up about 4K, and now it's like, how do they play with the lead, right? The bottom T3 is a little on the open side. Wawa will push this one out, but Nova Esports really sticking together because they need to fight for this spot.
Yep. Unbridled Outburst comes through again, leap onto both of the backlines of Nova Esports. Cannon Blast does come through. It is going to be a takedown here for Wawa once more. Is it going to be another one for FF here? Yes, the leaps are coming through, but the soaking and damage is just not going to be enough. It's them. It's Falcons taking that farm lane and opening it up on the higher ground turrets.
Taking the bottom T3, and that was actually a really good initiation, really good fight for Team Falcons that's exactly what you wanted to have done. See why? He turned it around. He was like, okay, you want to go? Let's go. And unfortunately, he did not expect Clue to come in with his Umbrella Outburst, just smashes him in, controlled him.
Yep, super clean, right? They're sharing the damage so expertly on the side of Falcons, and they are rewarded with the T3 on the bottom lane. Now they can take the pace a little bit slower, right, before they force the fights at the neutral objectives.
Yeah, and, I mean, Team Falcons right now, this is night and day, right? This is a very different team. And I think that if you're watching and you're kind of thinking, oh, wow, this is the #1 team in the Malaysia qualifiers, what is going on? And it's not really that, it's just more of like Team Falcons really stepping up to the task here.
Yep, I mean, this is the exact quality we want, right? We are not looking for good teams, we're looking for great teams. And so far in Game 2, Falcon seems to be the better one.
Yeah, and I mean, they're doing very well. I mean, they're not out of the woods yet, but they're pushing it down. They have the opponent, Nova Esports, on the ground, so to speak, and it's just a matter of closing this game out.
Yep, and right now FFE gives vision to the team, and it's really important, right? Because it sets a stage for Ray to really get the stuns in. And once Ray gets a perfect stun, Wawa is happy as hell.
Yeah, and Nova Esports, they need to be careful about that, right? The Cannon Blast, if it connects, it stuns 2, maybe even 3, you might even just win the team fight. So they need to be super careful with how they proceed, how they take any sort of engagement here.
Yeah, Bobby as well. You can see he's sitting a little bit far behind. Here comes the...
Oh, all cylinders are burning on the side of Falcon. Shu1 is looking pretty low. They're trying to just keep those minions away. What a good wave clear, though, into the farm lane. We did see that Wawa was looking for that backdoor Hail Mary to try and finish off this game. But if we know Falcons, this is the hardest point for them to close.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, look at FF so low, Bobby very low. This is why they're disengaging. They don't really want to take this fight here. The Overlord is up, so Nova Esports could potentially take it down, but they don't know that FF is making his way over now.
Yep, they might get caught blindsided here. This is a blind movement from Nova, so this is a huge risk that they're taking. And at this point, Falcon, they have kind of recentered themselves, gotten the health bars back, so it's not an ideal fight for the side of Nova.
Not out yet. Team Falcons right now, again, okay, you got pushed back a little bit. You're still up 6K. You're still kind of in that lead, and it's just a matter of time of maybe you just start this Overlord. I mean, I think it's looking to be free right now.
It is going to be free because right now the lanes are pushing in, and one of the lanes that are pushing in is actually a super minion lane. So Falcon should have the time of the day to really complete this, and once again, pressure reapplied from the side of Falcons.
Reapplied right now. I mean, they've been putting the pressure on almost this entire game, right? They've definitely been in control. The mid and the top T3, the only thing standing at this point. Nova Esports need to figure out a way to get back in, but with that Shadow Vanguard pushing the top lane, this is going to be tough.
Yeah, Bobby already at 15, so he's at max level. He has max stats as well. And FF.
I mean, this is clutch, right? They've got to make sure that Dune does not die early, because if he does, then FF will be a FF for Falcons. Right now, Nova Esports are just lacking with the kills, lacking with the gold, right?
Yeah, it's a low-kill game, to be honest. 8 kills between the two teams. But so far, I mean, CY has been using his dashes and slashes to the best efforts.
Yes, Cannon Blast does land onto Shu1 just now as the Shadow Vanguard is coming up to that higher ground turret. They're trying to just wave clear from both sides. They're just trying to get as much damage control as possible. But speaking of damage, it is going to be Bobby getting the Flaming Palms onto that high ground turret. Here we go. CY goes in with the duel to death. It is going to be Zhongfei that takes place off FF to take all the brunt of this damage from Nova Esports. Loads of damage going on. There is AoE central, but nobody's going down. Falcons are still struggling to close these late game team fights.
Yep, Wawa jumped in a little bit too early. If he was half a second later, he would have landed that Truth Mantra on all of Nova.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean, it's just like, it's the inches, right? It's the tiny little micro details that happen. Nova Esports, I mean, you would say, I don't know who won. Obviously, nobody died, so in essence, it's fine. The top T3 had been taken out, but they do need to be careful about the bottom lane pushing, and this could be an opening for this Tyrant here.
Yep, anytime it's a draw, it is going to be an advantage to Falcons. They have 2 super minion lanes.
Yeah, and, looks like Team Falcons know that, realizing that, hey...
Wow.
Clue?
Clue, okay, and Clue going in. Oh, CY goes down. So the next jungle objectives are going to be pretty much scot-free for the side of Falcons. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. We need to just make sure the Cannon Blasts are connecting. but they need to ride this out. They do get the Shadow Overlord, the Shadow Tyrant, sorry. So the damage from Bobby, those flaming palms are becoming into nuclear palms right now. We are getting into very late game territory right now. They need to take this fight, because if not, Tempest could come up in about 5 minutes. The minions are rocking around, putting a lot of pressure onto the Crystal. That high ground turret in the mid lane does fall. Falcons are looking for a closer here. If they don't do it now, it's going to be a little bit too late. Shu1 putting some pressure, and again, still not closing it out. They can't get the foot through the door.
No, I think it's fine. I think it's a good disengage. They got what they wanted, which is that mid T3. Everything is wide open. They're just going to take it out. I mean, the super minions are pushing all 3 lanes. This is going to put more pressure onto Nova more than anything else. So Team Falcons can kind of sit back a little bit, regroup, get back to full.
Yeah, at this point, Bobby already 6 slaughtered. He is a monster. This dragon definitely looking to bite off a couple of heads from the side of Nova, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Cannon Blast. See why taking so much damage into that early fight, right?
Yeah. I think Bobby was just like, hey, if we lose this game, we go home, right? We're going to bounce out of this one. But he's not letting that happen. Bobby's like, hey, guys, get on my back, because I got this.
Yep. The best type of play is when you play without fear, right? But at the same time, a good understanding of what needs to happen on the opponent's side. So they know that Nova is kind of handicapped at this point, because they don't have lanes that are pushing in. They don't have the map advantage as well. And it's a free Overlord, Shadow Overlord. Once again, in the hands of Falcons, they must make full use of this advantage.
Hey, wait. Play without fear? Because I play without fear, but I tend to lose my games. What's wrong here?
Because you play with Kindo Fu.
Ah! So
Wow.
okay, got it. That's my fault.
Okay. You know what? Bravery is, facing fear and doing it anyway. But stupidity is the same. That's why.
Okay. So I've learned my lesson not to play with you. Got it. Okay. But hey, looks like the final siege.
That's it, yeah. I mean, the minions are rocking around here. They do have enhanced minions in all lanes, but it's looking very healthy for Nova Esports right now. The Blood Rage does come through, keeping FF alive. Cannon Blast just to give them a little bit more room for breathing on the side of Falcons whilst they wait for that Shadow Vanguard. Waypit is not putting the pressure off the pedal yet.
Yep, that's a lot of regression, right? And one of the main things here is there's not enough damage. Somehow CY is timing those illuminating slashes at the right time. He's just covering all of the angles for the team, and they're not taking any damage at all.
Yeah, not really taking too much damage, but okay, hey, Blamp pointed it out. Ray, with his Cannon Blast, so good in terms of the team fights, of that control, and also when you're retreating, being able to hit a 3-man stun, absolutely huge.
Oh, I mean, that was close. They could have got caught out with that one.
Yep, Muji looking for an opening right here. FF, I think he needs to be supported. They need to be closer to FF, or they might make the mistake CY.
Closer to FF, more like closer to CY. Goodbye! Wawa, it's not. It's Bobby getting the flaming palms onto CY right now. We do see the wind slash come through. Shu1 into the backline, trying to take out Bobby. Infinite Fastness does save. We have the Unbridled Light Rage. It is Wawa
Bobby.
and Clue for leading the front of this fight. We get a shutdown onto Bobby right now, but it is going to be the Sage's Sanctuary coming through for FF. But Shu1 is turning this around. Ray has got to be careful. He goes down. That is a 3-1 trade right at the Crystal. How many teams have done this and said to live the tail?
They have gone too far. Falcons, they had the advantage, but always, you know that Nova will hang on, and they have just pushed them away time and time again.
No, but Bobby going in with that infinite fastness, that was a huge error. A bad misplay, right? Going in for that, he was like, okay, even if I die, I have the Sage Sanctuary. But you're in the heart of the end of the team. Nova Esports is like, oh, I'll take this free food.
Yeah, but it's not enough, right? And at this point, there is a silver lining. This is their first few deaths. It's 4 kills only for the side of Nova, so death time is not that long.
Not that long, but hey, okay. The fact that they had the mid T1, it doesn't mean that it's, devastating to the point where they come out the L on this one. But that was, let's check out this replay here.
Yeah, exactly. They wanted to go in. I'm not sure why they chose to stand in the middle of the destructive deluge, right? It really hurt them big, and Xuan was just having freedom to run over and over again, providing more space for Muji to get the rolling rage safely. Oh, but here we go.
Oh, a little bit of a flash replay getting into this team fight. Cannon Blasters land onto 4 of the members. They've got to be careful. That T2 is looking like it's going to go down as well. So slowly but surely, Nova Esports are getting ground.
I mean, they're gaining ground. They have a net worth lead at this point. I mean, they've turned the game around where they're on the enemy side of the river. I mean, this is a bad situation for Team Falcons. They did not want to be here. They had the lead. They had an opportunity to close it out, but But again, it's these small little mistakes that are just compounding into these disasters.
Okay, but it's still map advantage for the side of Falcons. They have 3 open lanes against Nova, right? So they can't exactly put too much pressure from the side of Nova because they might get caught out in the base with their backdoor attempts or even the Winions here.
They're going to try to do what they can. I mean, CY is dealing with those minions. He's going to be pushing into the bottom lane. Chuan is going to make his way over there too. It looks like that's going to be the call. But Nova Esports, this is the Tempest Dragon now. It's 20 minutes and 30 seconds in. But Nova Esports just hanging around on the outskirts.
Yeah, Wawa, you can see he's trying again, hiding in the shadows. Anyone, any singular target that walks there is going to be in trouble.
Yeah, going to be in trouble here. FF kind of backing off here, and they thought about it. The Cannon Blast connecting onto 2, which is great for them, but Clue don't know if they want to go for this. No,
Yeah, it looks a little bit like a fight
Wawa!
on 2 fronts here, right? Wawa is stuck into the back of here. We see
Wendy!
the damage on Wendy. Destructed the luge is no more. Shu1 may get something here, but the Infinite Bastards does save Bobby once more. He does come in looking like FF and waiting for FF and Clue to go on Shu1, but it wasn't going to be that case. It was not that reality. But right now, they are down 1 member on the side of Nova Esports. Maybe the Tempest Dragon is the way to go.
Maybe. I mean, you got about 23 more seconds for Wendy to get back up. This is a window of an opportunity, but Nova Esports, CY!
Oh, Sai's got to be careful because he goes down. The Blood Rage is not going to save him. Sage's Sanctuary, will that save him? Think inside the box. He goes down. They need to take this Tempest now. The Winions are at the Crystal. Shu1 is looking like he's handicapped. They've got to watch out on the side of Nova.
CY down for 35 seconds, just completely out of position. They were really no real chance to take this one. And unfortunately, it's going to go, the Tempest Dragon is going to go the way of Team Falcons. They're going to look to close this game out.
Yep, Nova, they took a huge risk. It did not pay off. And right now, they were going to make them pay from the side of Falcons. They're looking for vengeance. They're looking for that receipt. It's sending of an invoice over. We want your crystal and we want it now.
Okay,
Yes.
but they're going to pay the invoice in what? Like 3 months, 4 months?
It's a team on all different fronts. Wawa's into the back there. Clue gets a kill. Onto Muchi. They are coming around with the minions. It is going to be the stand-up. Meta Region stand-up. They are not out yet.
A huge tie. They fought with their hearts and they came out swinging. This is the Falcons we wanted from the first game. This is the Falcons we're going to get as well. So Bobby and Clue, the rest of the members on the side of Falcons, they're still in it.
Still in it, and they've got themselves a chance. This is a ball game here. We're going to go to a game 3.